Everybody. Welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. I'm Dessa Dealer, and as you can see, we have a lovely host. Yes, not yet, maybe someday, but she is a guest.
Hi everyone, I'm Pink Pickles.
And I'm Cozy Beluga.
Just like you can tell what I'm thinking about already, folks. I am planning Halloween. It's that time of year for me, so I'm thinking all Halloween all the time. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, so um, okay. Figured we would start off with some light discussion and discuss the Olympics. And I
Oh,
picked some of them. I find them highly interesting for a number of reasons, but I am intrigued by everyone else's opinion as well. So, I have to say, first and foremost, I think my favorite thing is most definitely the fact that Snoop Dogg has been running around the Olympics doing things. And my second favorite thing, it would be Flava Flav. Um, what is it?
He
He
sponsored
helped with
the
the
women's water polo,
yes, that
the
was it. The
team.
polo team, the women's polo team. Yeah. I knew it was something. I was like, I know he sponsored one of the women's teams. I couldn't remember if it was water polo or just polo in general, but yeah. And I think that's awesome because he did it. He worked on it and was talking about it for quite a while before the Olympics even started. So he's been on it for some time, which is really interesting for us older folks who know about Flava Flav and grew up watching Flava of Love. Watch this man like wholesome cheer on a women's polo team and help send them to the Olympics. Like that's the most wholesome thing I've seen in ages. I love it. I'm here for it.
And he was in
But
the stands for every match and he was just so hype and cheering them on and it was great to see because it's not at all what you would expect from him.
yeah, it was great. And when people would ask him on X about it, he'd like instantly go into, oh yeah, no, I'm really doing it. I'm really here for the polo team. Like it just was
Yep.
bringing. It was amazing. If you go on his feed and look at all the, it's so funny. He's so a sweet guy. I mean, at least for the polo team. That's all I could say.
Well,
Can't
and
speak
he also, I forget, I think she might have been in track and field. There was somebody who said that she was having problems paying her rent because with the way she's not a professional athlete, so that she wasn't really making a lot of money. And Flav said, I'll step up and I'll pay your rent for her. So it was actually Flava Flav and I don't know how you pronounce his name, Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, I think. They gave this athlete money so she could make sure that her rent was paid so she'd have to worry about it while she's over there competing.
so awesome. That's really sweet because yeah,
Yeah.
I have heard that about in the past about the Olympians that actually perform in the US generally do live like paycheck to paycheck type thing
Yep.
here in the States because they don't really get much in the way of support. Even the ones that have won gold medals and things don't really fare too well later. I mean,
I mean that makes sense. Unless you can bring a lot of viewers, you're kind of like that's just your even at a professional level. Certain sports are just like
well, some sports are just crazy expensive anyway. Even at just the um, playing as a child, it's
yeah,
an
Hmm.
expensive sport. Like gymnastics, gymnastics has always been expensive. So is ice
gymnastics,
Yeah.
skating.
anything
Uh,
that involves skating.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I think they get a lot of their money if you end up becoming popular and you get sponsorships. Because I was wondering, US athletes, I think they get, if you win a gold medal, you get paid $37,000. But for some of these other smaller countries that don't really win a lot of medals, they get a
yeah.
lot of money. There was I forget what sport he competed in, but somebody from the Philippines he won the country's first ever gold medal. He got a house. He's getting like a whole bunch of food for life. Like this guy's getting tons of stuff. It's huge because like I said, when you have these smaller countries, yeah, you only get one medal. There's people who countries have medaled. Guatemala got 2 medals this Olympics. The first medals that they've ever gotten ever. And that, I mean, that's huge. So that's great for these little countries to get some sort of recognition. But I think for the U.S., who always at the top, they don't pay as much money for their medals.
Oh no, we're one of the lower countries on that front. I actually heard about that guy too, and heard what all he was getting, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Can you imagine just being? I mean, I'm not saying they're not amazing at their sport, but can you imagine just being really good at a sport, like a couple of times in your life, and just never having to work again? I'm not saying they don't work hard. I am absolutely aware how hard athletes work to get to where they are, but the Olympics are only done every 4 years. So if you train from, a preteen till an adult and you make it in your 20s and you get to go, you never got to play the sport again, realistically, if you don't want to. I mean, look at Phelps. That guy did swimming, won some medals, and I don't think he's really done much with it since. He did some talk shows and a few
I think he does just commentator work for different sports, but I don't know where you would watch swimming outside the Olympics. I don't know, but I think that you can somewhere.
Probably a specialty at ESPN.
Yeah, probably. But see, that's what I like about the Olympics is I like watching the sports that you normally don't get to see. Like I was watching canoe slalom and canoe sprinting. I don't know how high off the water it was, but there was a platform and the thing was like at least 5 feet above the water. And the thing went beep and the platform just tilted down and all the boats just flew right into the water. It was hysterical. But then they're racing. It's like a little artificial whitewater rafting course and they're with canoes like battling each other.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Things like that you normally don't ever see. So
you actually just reminded me though, how funny is it? Who knew breakdancing would be in the Olympics this year? Like, did anyone have that on their bingo card? Because
I mean,
is that a thing that was ever at the Olympics before?
So basically, what happens? So basically, what happens is it's predictable what can be at the Olympics because things are constantly added in and moved out.
If breakdancing were going to be in the Olympics, I would have thought like back in the late 80s, early 90s when breakdancing was like a real popular thing.
It wasn't popular amongst the elites.
It's
apparently because I was looking into this a lot, and apparently there's like a huge breakdancing community across the world, and there's tons of competitions that happen.
Yep.
And my only complaint that I had about them showing it is the commentators are horrible because they did not explain how the judging was done. Is they said there's 4 or 5 components that you get judged on, but they didn't explain what they were because one of the components is vocabulary. And I was like, what are they going to trash talk each other? I don't understand this. And someone did a move and like that's good vocabulary. It would have been. I would have showed up for that one. Right. But I have no clue what that meant in relation to dancing, and I wish that the commentators would have done a better job of explaining it. And I think it would have gotten people more into it if they would have understood what was happening, what we're watching. Because to just see people dancing, how do you know, is this subjectively good or bad? Because I don't know what the criteria is. I don't know what I'm looking for. But I'm glad mix things up a little bit.
I wasn't expecting it, and what I saw, I was just like, wait a minute, what? It wasn't even whether or not it was good. It was what timeline did I step into? We're breakdancing in the Olympics in 2024. It's not a left field, if you ask me. I wasn't expecting breakdancing to make.
No, not at all. I see the chat though. They're into Ray Gun from Australia. She was dressed like a middle school gym teacher with her high-waisted like wind pants and her polo shirt and hat.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
She beat out a lot of people to be there. She won other competitions, but I don't know.
I'm still questioning how any of that was done because I'm not a break dancer. I'm a dancer in general, but I am not I do not break dance. I cannot break dance. I will look stupid. I'll be the first to say it. Um, but I can somewhat judge other people on their dance skills, at least enough to say that was not why. How did she get there? Who did she know
You mean that
that they were
kangaroo
like?
hop wasn't the best move?
It was intriguing, all right. It was
Oh,
interesting. I thought I was being punked when I was watching it. I was
yeah,
like, "This has got to be satire. There's no
yeah,
way. This is like this must be like their way of giving them the middle finger. Like this is not a real sport.
yeah.
We're not even going to participate." Type thing. And then to find out she's got like 2 degrees in music and all this background, and I'm just like, I you could have fooled me. I feel bad for her.
I
I
feel like
do.
to me, it seemed like she's one of those people that you study something, so you learn the like technical aspect, but you don't ever learn the practical aspect of it.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
just stiff and rigid and had no like just fluid motion to her body. And even because I really like with breakdancing how much you're on the ground and spinning around and um like you're just supporting yourself up with your hands. That's really athletic to be able to do that. And even when she did that, you could tell that it was like, okay, I have to go and I have to do this for 3 seconds and then I'm going to move on. Yeah, she definitely just didn't feel the music and dance.
So I think the problem with that is sort of like, like there probably aren't a whole lot of people in the breakdancing that and do some of these breakdancing things that are really good that are going to even be able to go to these competitions.
It is because it costs even though some sports aren't as expensive. And we talked before about like gymnastics and skating events. I think even for sports that I'm sure there's not a high overhead cost to enter breakdancing. I'm sure though it costs a lot of money to get into the right competitions to get where you need to be to make it to the Olympics. So I think right there a lot of people I'm sure are just ruled out because you can't afford to
Yep.
get to the right places.
Yep, a lot of like the break dancers are like that are good are just going to be people out on the street just
Yep.
enjoying
True.
themselves and doing it. So yeah, obviously so when you ask like how did she even get there?
Who
She doesn't have to be good.
knows?
She just has to have enough resources to get there.
Like I
Yeah.
said, who does she know? Because I
She's a
mean,
professor.
I know
Yep.
several backyard dancers that could have blown her away easily. I would have happily sent them to you, Australia. All you have to do is pay for their airfare.
Yes, and that's the thing. She's a professor, so she has access to a lot of this stuff already. So she's going to be able to get there quite easily.
And that makes me, as a woman, I feel so much more sympathy for her because people are going to rag on her for the next few years, and then
I
like when
mean,
the Olympics
Yep.
come around again and they do breakdancing again, these video clips are going to come out again. I mean, in oh, hold on, let's see the chat. Somebody in the chat, someone even said LTRE. He even said the clips look fake as hell. They did. It did. I thought I was being punked.
But that's a shame though. Is we're talking like that's who we all know. We're not talking about all the other competitors who did good and
Oh
actually succeeded.
yeah.
Who right like that's not fun to talk about, and it's like does a disservice to them because they really did a great job. And I was amazed too that there was competitors that were 16, 17, 18, and then there's competitors. I think the woman who won, pretty sure for the women breakers, it was from Japan, and I think she was 46. So there was a wide variety of
Wow.
ages there
Yeah.
who were participating.
Good for them. I mean, hey, if you've got the energy and the time and the motivation, because I know personally I wouldn't
Yeah.
find it. Breakdancing is not a thing for me. I'm one of those people. The second I go to like do a turn, I'm falling flat on my face.
Yeah.
Ballroom dancing, I got you covered, but breakdancing, we're out of luck there.
The next
But
Summer Olympics, though, are going to be in LA. So is anyone going to make the trip out there and go? Is anyone? I don't know if you like
Yeah.
the Olympics enough.
I don't like California. I'm not a fan of California. I've been before, and I was there for a few months actually, and it's beautiful in some parts. Um, the roads are a nightmare. Traffic is, I'm not a traffic person, so getting stuck in bumper to bumper
LA
traffic
is
like
not for
that
you then.
drives me nuts. And then where I can't even think of where it was now. There was one area that we had to go to, and all I could think is if a storm comes and it rains hard enough and this rock falls, the road's out of luck and we are stuck out. Oh, in Big Sur. That's where it was. We were going in Big Sur, and I'm like, this is like one tiny little road. You can actually look over. If you roll your window down and look out the car, there's the cliff. And it's not like a small 50-foot drop. It's like a 400-foot drop onto some rocks in the water.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone in Florida. I'll keep my alligators. Thank you.
I originally wanted to go because I'm an Olympics fanatic. So I was like, it's in the US, I have to go. But then they announced Salt Lake City got the Winter Olympics in 2034. And I prefer the Winter Olympics. So I'm totally going. In 10 years, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City. So I hope I win the lottery so I can do it in style. But I'm going. I got 10 years to save up.
Oh, it's funny. Real quick, because I see the guys are all in the chat. I should say hi.
Uh-oh.
We have legendary Yellow Beef, the darling. You haven't seen the other video.
Yobi!
Darling Dreadpool, light of my life, the other parent to my child. Hello, dear. I'm not even gonna pretend. If that is a word, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. FZAH 928.
FZA. He's on the Game Complainers podcast.
Oh,
him and LTRE are both from Game Complainers podcast. Game Complainers, he was in here. I'm sure he's going to be back in. He was in here.
Oh, yeah, I saw him earlier. And I see Axel from Iconic Video Games. Hey. Tway Steve.
Yes, hey, One Way Steve. I'm glad you're able to make it.
Oh, Fight the Power. Love that. Why does that name sound familiar? You sound familiar, Fight the Power. And I don't just mean because of the Fight the Power thing, the name. Anyway. So, oh, okay. That's Frank. That's why.
Yep. He was over earlier. He was over our house earlier today, and David Game Complainers, they were helping me get set up and make sure I had the camera. I got to get a new mount for it. It's like up high. That's why I'm like looking weird at the screen. But they were helping me make sure I had everything set up, so I was ready to go.
Oh, that's great. They did a wonderful job.
They did.
Fabulous job. So, Miss Cosy.
Yes.
What has been your favorite part so far on the Olympics?
I don't watch the Olympics.
Oh, okay. So some of the clips you've seen online, I know there's got to be
like 2 of them. Literally 2 of them. I literally have absolutely no interest in the Olympics.
Oh.
Now, if you want to talk about something interesting, the Paralympics. Okay. Yay, superhuman people doing sports. That's not interesting to me. I want to watch a dude with no legs in a swimming competition.
And I forget, do they start this week or is there a week between them? Because I know that
between them.
Okay, so they'll be on next week then.
Yeah. They're wholly, to me, the only interesting part of the Olympics.
I'm not gonna lie. It probably is the more interesting side of the Olympics. Because, yeah, superhuman doing impressive feats. Yeah, we see professional athletes on a regular basis, so it's kind of...
Well, it's nice too now with streaming is there's more access to actually watch the Paralympics because back in the day it was never really didn't get to watch it on TV, and it's a shame that no one got to see it because you're right, it is great to watch them compete. We went to so just some local kids Special Olympics or not, they weren't Paralympics, they were Special Olympics. I love all things Olympics, and it was so great to just watch everybody compete, and that's what I want. I want everyone to compete, but like not in a I have to win kind of way, just to it's how great that everyone's out having fun and competing, and someone's gonna win, but even who doesn't win, it's still great that you're out there, and yeah,
I'm gonna tune in once that starts. I believe it's August 28th.
Okay. Yeah, because tonight was a closing ceremony, so that's why I always forget if it starts right away or there is the gap. So it'll be next week then.
Yeah, it opens August 28th.
I was watching a lot of the bicycling events too, which I normally don't like, but because there was so much rain in Paris, a lot of people were falling off the bikes because they had cobblestone roads. So as soon as you hit the cobblestone, woo, the wheels are coming out, and it was like that. I was like, okay, that adds a whole new dynamic.
Oh my goodness!
To the
I
event.
want to see this now.
And then there was one. It was, I don't even know what country they were from. The bike wiped out on the bike, but then something happened with her tire. So her coach or whoever from her team hops over the barrier to bring her the new tire, but he fell. So now he's on the ground. He has to get up and scramble and change her tire. It was great.
Now I'm going to be watching this. That sounds to me hilarious.
It sounds like a really good time, and
Yeah.
I knew that there was going to go a lot was going to not go the way they expected things to go, and it was not going to go smoothly. Right before the Olympics started, when they were discussing the water issue on how the river that they had put all this money into trying to clean for like the past year or two, which I couldn't figure out why they had only started trying to clean it like a year in advance when it's still gross. I would think you would start as soon as you guys get the bid. And I don't believe they wait until a year before the Olympics to announce who's hosting it. You know, like I'm pretty sure that's just when it's done.
If it's that horribly bad, wouldn't you want to just clean it up in general? Maybe not to standards to swim in, but you think you would want it cleaner than it was. It sounds like it's probably disgusting. Right?
I wouldn't put athletes in it. Like, go ahead, go because one of the athletes or two of the athletes ended up with bacterial infection.
Yep. Because there's like an open water swimming event, and then they had, I think it was triathlon, right, where you swim, bike, and something else, run, right? Like all those people were just, cooking in that water.
Oh god, I can imagine some of the thought processes behind some of these things. It's just like, you guys, you really didn't think these things through. I mean, it's rainy season. You didn't clean your river. Just saying. It's kind of like, who was it that had it and had a bunch of problems? I can't even remember what country it was anymore. It was quite a while back.
Rio, who had the last Summer Olympics, they had a lot of problems too, because I'm pretty sure that their wastewater treatment plant was upstream from where their event was, which is the worst, or it was downstream. Yeah, the plant was upstream. So anytime it overflowed and went through the river, right to where you're all going. So
golly, that's disturbing.
Yeah, poor planning. Definitely poor planning.
So gross. Oh, okay. Here.
Hey, RWK. Yes, I am Mrs. Perry. Nice to finally meet you.
Timmy! Hi, Timmy. Oh, it's good to see you, buddy.
Timmy!
Oh, there it is. Sir X-Men.
Uh-oh, Sir X-Men.
Yes, Celine Dion forever. I agree. Did her at the opening ceremony, she sang on the Eiffel Tower. She was like on the platform of the Eiffel Tower and she sang. That was just amazing. And I had recently watched her documentary. I don't know if either of you saw that. She has stiff person syndrome, which
I watched an interview with her, but I didn't watch her documentary. I've heard it's really good.
It is really good, and it's crazy to see. I didn't realize like how debilitating this syndrome is, because when you see her, when she does the interview, she seems relatively fine. You're like, what's the big deal? To watch how her body can just completely freeze and she's powerless, and it was heartbreaking, because she seems like one of those just genuinely nice people. So to watch her sing at the opening ceremony, that was an amazing performance.
looked really good from what I saw. I didn't watch the whole thing. But I'm always impressed though when I see her doing anything, especially since she came out with that stiff person syndrome.
Yeah.
Because the interview that I watched with her talking about it, you could tell she was uncomfortable. And I don't mean like she was uncomfortable talking about it. I mean, she and herself, it wasn't that she as a person was uncomfortable. If you catch what I mean, like her body, she physically seemed
Yes.
in pain. It was kind of disheartening to see her almost look like she was struggling to speak during the interview, and it's like, oh my gosh, considering the talent that she has and the vocal range she has, to see her struggle to just speak, it's sad. So,
And it might actually be tough to speak, because I thought the same thing. Like, well, why can't you sing? Maybe you can't move. But she said that, like, what's in front of your lungs is you have ribs, you have muscles. So
yeah.
she can't inflate her lungs to speak and to sing, because everything in front of it doesn't move. So that's really where she struggles. So I think sometimes she does struggle with talking, just because her muscles and the rest of her body just won't cooperate. Which, like I said, what a horrible way to live. But I'm glad that she seemed to be doing a little bit better, and I'm glad that she was able to come out. And I'm sure that was a powerful moment for her to be able to kind of make that return, so to say. And especially because even though she's not French, she's Canadian, but she's from the French-speaking part of Canada. So I'm sure to her, to have that connection to French portion probably was what a great moment for her.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a little bit of Lady Gaga's performance.
Yep.
It looked pretty. She sounded good. I watched mainly the clip where one of her background dancers kind of like I guess he tripped over something or whatever. I watched the clip a couple of times and still couldn't figure out what exactly happened.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It looked normal to me. It wasn't my style of thing, but I thought it was cool. They were doing it in the rain on the steps and the feathers. Like, it was just
the feathers,
a cool little thing.
feather
Yeah.
fans were cute. I was like, oh, that's a nice idea. That used to be
Very French looking.
thing. Yeah, very French, very cute.
Yes.
But what you playing over there, Coz?
I'm not playing anything. I'm looking at like people wipe out.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Like, I'm watching the Olympics now.
And I don't know if you know this, Cosy. We've played video games together. You might not, because I was always very quiet on it. On Xbox, I play under CM Crunk. So we've, as I see Sir X-Man in the chat, I know his name from the things. Well, when we were doing community game night.
It was wild. My apologies.
Oh, it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've gamed together.
Okay. Cool.
She's a little more sane when she's not gaming. I'm just kidding. You'll never find her sane.
What?
Normal is the setting on a washer and it's boring.
A what?
The normal is the setting on a washer and it's boring.
Yeah. I wash everything on normal. Even if it says don't. Even if it says don't put in the washer at all.
Just don't buy things that are dry clean only. Just don't even buy them. Who cares?
But the thing is, sometimes I don't realize that they're dry clean only, because what year is it?
I know. Who still brings their stuff to the dry cleaner? I guess if you have like a suit or something special, but regular clothes. Sir X-Man, I'm the one who said I know you on Xbox. On CM Crunk, I played with you when we did community game night. So I've been in chats with you, but I was kind of quiet there because I didn't know everybody, so I didn't, participate a little bit. I also sucked. All those shooting games we played, I'm not. Well, I was gonna say I'm not very good, but that's an understatement. I'm horrible. So I'm the one who just got demolished by everybody. But it's okay, because I still have fun.
I mean, yeah, that's all that matters. Fun. And having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. No.
I I don't know. I'm sure I do have a library card. It's all digital now, though. I can just get it on my Kindle. I don't even have to go to the library.
That is
True.
true. Except they never have the weird books that I look for.
Oh, the last time I got some weird books, I ended up stopping by just a random garage sale, and I didn't think I was really going to find anything because it was in a weird neighborhood, and it was a real old couple. I was impressed because they had a book, a bunch of books, I should say, a table covered with books about the occult, about different occult things. It's like one of those, like, what? Really? I guess they thought they were being haunted or something because they had a whole mini library of occult books. I was like, oh, well, I'm wondering now how your house is decorated because I know how mine is. So I bought a couple of books. Bye, guys. I'll see you later.
Maybe they didn't need him anymore. Maybe like whatever was haunting their house, they were able to. The books were successful. They were able to get rid of them.
True. You'd be surprised at some of the books you'd find that old people have.
Books are good for burning too.
Why would you? Unless it's Twilight, or 50 Shades of Grey, you better not be burning books.
I burn all
This is not
books.
Fahrenheit. No.
In fact, that also always reminds me of the time like we had to do a project on Fahrenheit 451, so I just burned it and showed my teacher the pictures.
What kind of grade did you get?
She actually gave me an A.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, I mean, her response was pretty much fair enough. And
I had to write like 8 pages on that book. There's no way you got away with just burning a book, a copy of it. Man, I'm in the wrong state. Although I don't think it's necessary reading anymore. I don't think they have to read that book anymore. There's quite a few books last I heard, a lot of the kids don't have to read anymore. My friend's kid graduated high school and never read any Shakespeare. I was like, how did you get away with that?
probably just as well.
I say, I wish I went to that high school.
Probably just
Shakespeare
as
was
well.
like the bane of my existence. Oh,
I'm with El Terry. So El Terry said, "What if you were at that tag sale and they had a whole serial killer book collection? I'd rather read that than read Shakespeare."
I would absolutely have bought the serial killer book collection.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I bought a brand new skull mug, guys, because I walked into a store and look at it. It's so shiny and pretty. It's
It
even
is
got
nice.
this like, funky little finish on it that makes it look like it's like old. Oh, I love this thing.
So did you just get that from the Halloween stuff they're putting out now?
Yeah. I got it from
glad.
Cracker.
Wait, did you just say you got that from Cracker Barrel? Oh my god. I'm going to Cracker Barrel next week. I love Cracker Barrel so much. And I said this summer I want to do one thing. I want to eat at Cracker Barrel. And we didn't go yet. So next week we're going to lunch. We're going to Cracker Barrel. And now I'm going to have to go look for what Halloween items they have out.
Boy.
I'm glad because I hate when they shorten all the seasons because Christmas comes out so early. So I'm glad that we're getting our Halloween now. Let's at least we can at least get a month or two at a Halloween.
It makes me happy that they're finally doing that because I've been waiting for years. And like, I've loved Halloween and all things scary since I was a little kid, but I'm not gothic. I just like dark things. I wear a lot of pink and white, bright makeup, but I like dark spooky things for my house. And I've always been told it's not the right time of year. It's not the right time of year. Like my friends and family, when they buy me gifts, they wait until Halloween time to buy me things and then just hold on to it for the following year or whatever. And it drives me crazy. It drives everybody crazy because it's like we want all this stuff all the time. So the fact that everyone's now getting into skulls and Halloween and stuff like all year, I'm like, this is amazing.
We've had a skull. on our front door for over 5 years because I bought it one year for Halloween and we just never took it down. And then we also have a skeleton sitting in the corner because, again, I bought it a few years ago. And how do you store it? So he just sits there, and now we're Halloween all year.
Absolutely, there is nothing wrong with
Nope.
that. I have the Wicked Witch of the West in my back room sitting out there.
Nice.
She was at my dining room table for, I think, 5 or 6 years, and mine and Dreadpool's nephew was scared of her, so we had to move her into the back room, and we just never moved her back out here.
Yeah.
She does, however, randomly go off on her own. She's done that for quite a while. She has no batteries and she's not plugged in, but you know, creepy things do creepy things.
She's the Wicked Witch, you know?
Yeah. I have skulls decorating all over my house. Just about. I've got all kinds of crystal skulls, glass skulls. I've got oh gosh, Alchemist Maximus bust, an actual average size bust. Why? Because I can. I'm an adult.
Yep.
It's my money, my house. I can do what I want.
Do you like Halloween, Cozy, or are you not a
it's
Halloween
okay.
fan?
I'm not really I mean it's a day to have fun, but I'm not like a Halloween fanatic.
You're not running to Cracker Barrel next week to buy all your Halloween items.
I have never been to Cracker Barrel as an adult.
Okay, so that means I'm assuming that you went there as a kid then, if you said you've never been there as an adult.
A couple of times as a kid.
Do you not like it, or you're just kind of like, well, no need to go?
No need to go. It's never been on my... Not that I hate the food or anything. It's just like never been on my list of like places where, I need to...
Yeah. Anthony called me out in the chat for how much stuff I bought last time we went. We don't need to talk about the giant bag of items and candy that I walked out with. It happens.
There's a candy store. Well, there used to be a candy store by us that I like to go to, and they had a lot of the old-fashioned candy.
Mhm.
And I could easily, and they had some decent pricing for what it was too. I would easily go in there and spend like, $30, $40 on candy. I'm an adult, I can do what I want.
I always get jumbo candy buttons when I go, so I will be getting that.
Nice call, good call. That reminds me, I have Clover gum somewhere. Yes, I buy the Clover the gum. I like it.
Oh gosh, the sour straws roulette. Okay, so when we were at Cracker Barrel, we bought a pack of sour straws, but they were all green, so some of them were pickle.
Ugh.
So it was like there was like watermelon, lemon lime, something else, and pickle. So you don't know what you're getting. So there were like 8 of us, 7 of us, and we did. So we all picked up sour straws and we went around and we ate them. And I was like, pickles are so disgusting. I really hope I don't get one. Of course, in the first round, I ate a freaking pickle one. It was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. So we went until we made sure everybody got at least a pickle. It was hysterical.
I would have the same thing. If I gotta eat this, you have to eat it. I see a lot of people are like, yeah, Cracker Barrel. I haven't gone to Cracker Barrel in ages, and I just, for whatever reason, a couple of days ago, I was like, you know what I want? I want some Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
I don't feel like cooking, but I want home-ish kind of cooked food, I guess.
Well, it worked out. You got yourself a cool mug out of it, so.
Exactly. Oh, I got some other things too. I like their Halloween stuff. They have some really cool ghosts, and they have them now. They had them in just like statues before. Now they've got them in little ornament size. And they have one that lights up. Oh, they're so cute. I'm like, I think I want all of them, but I want one of the statues, but I want it to be like a 6-foot tall statue. So I'm gonna have to make that myself.
Did you ever
I know how to do that.
Was it a few years ago it was the big craze, I think Home Depot had it. Didn't they have like a 10-foot or 12-foot tall skeleton for your yard that like everyone was going crazy over?
Yeah, for myself. While they're cool, I was like, who in the world needs something that large in their house?
I thought it
Um,
was awesome, but yeah, where do you store it? What do you?
yeah, they have some out where we do our haunted trail. So we
Mhm.
do have access to a couple of them. There's now they made a grave digger skeleton one. He
Okay.
holds a stick and a lantern and wears like a half of a coat or something, I think, and the top hat. And then there's another one, um, Pumpkinhead or something. But there's a couple of them out now, and they've even added a flying witch to the mix. They're really cool. They're such a pain to put together. Such a pain to put together, and because they're just animatronics but much larger, um, it always makes me laugh because I'm always the person who puts together all of our animatronics. It doesn't take me very long. Mom and I put them together. We set up most of the trail ourselves. Mom and I can put up 8 animatronics in like 10 minutes.
Wow, it's impressive.
We've been doing it for years and we know exactly how we work with
Yep.
each other. So it's more like she pulls everything out of the box and just kind of hands it to me and I throw it together as she's pulling it out. So nothing ever actually sits on the ground. And since I've used some of these animatronics for like 8 and 10 years, I know exactly how they go together without instructions. And now that I've been doing it long enough, I don't need instructions for hardly any animatronic, even if
Yeah.
I've never touched it. So of course I get called over to ask to mess with these large animatronics because people are startled by the size of them and then trying to get them together because it's like, oh, you know how to put together, but because this is 12 feet tall, you're not. You got to lay it on the ground first. Put it on something that can hold like 100 pounds, even though it's only 10. They're ridiculously light, but they're just so large and wobbly.
Yeah.
It's always like, so I just started saying, leave it where it is. I'll get to it when I get to it. Leave it alone. Just walk away.
Don't
Walk
help and make it
away.
worse.
They did that to me last year. A group of the teenage boys were like, "Oh, we helped. We tried to help. We went to put one together. We did it, but we can't get it to work. It must be broken." And one of the adults came to me and was like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and take a look at that because I know they didn't put it together
Yeah.
right." And I was like, "Okay, just absolutely leave it alone because whatever they did to it's better than me having to put the whole thing together again myself." I was wrong. They put it together entirely wrong and they were missing pieces. I don't even know how they got it standing. They were missing a whole leg piece. I was like, how do you miss a whole leg? How is this thing
Did they
balancing?
just make? Did they just make him shorter and he was like a 6-foot skeleton?
No, I genuinely was so confused because they're like, yeah, there's an extra part. I'm like, there's never extra parts. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
It's the
They're like,
IKEA
no, there's an
statue.
extra, yeah. And they're like, oh, I think it's an extra arm or something that you don't have to use. And I'm like, that's not a thing with any animatronic ever. What are
Yeah.
you? Yeah, sure enough, nope. Just the whole leg was gone. Just they had the foot piece down on the bottom, and the way he's with no foot. I was like, "Oh." I mean, that's one way to do it. That could be why nothing's working because that's where the power goes.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like outside. Actually, um, one of my neighbors down the road has one of their 10-foot skeleton animatronics out all year round. It's glorious. I love it. They dress it up for the 4th of July
This
and
is so they
Valentine's
have like
Day.
little bunny ears on it for Easter.
They actually did, yeah, they had bunny ears on it, an Easter egg in its hand, and some eggs thrown around the ground. It was really cute. Um, They've done some cool stuff for Christmas. They put a Santa hat on it and a beard, and they give him a sack to hold.
Oh, that's
It's
cute.
funny.
Aw.
It's really
Well, that's the way
cool.
to do it because where else are you going to put it? So you might as well just keep on decorating.
Well, what cracks me up is those people actually have 2. So but they only leave one up. I don't understand. I've always wanted to go, like, I'm gonna do it one day. But I always want to go over and ask them, like, so how come you only put one away, but you leave the other one out all year?
So wait,
Because
they
even
really pack one up and put it somewhere?
yeah, yeah. I think it was kind of funny because I figured for hurricanes, they would put it away for a hurricane, you would think, because we get weeks in advance to know when we're getting hit with hurricanes. He put it on the side of his house in between the private fence and his house and took the head off. That was his putting it away for the hurricane. I was like, I mean, the skull's the most expensive part, so I guess.
Maybe they just get frustrated. They take the first one down and like, oh, we can't do that again. We'll take our chances. Just leave it.
They put the second one back up for Halloween every year. It's just the one they take down. I'm always like, why is it always just... I'm wondering if it's because they think they're going to get the county or something called if they leave both of them up.
Yeah, can't be tacky. One is okay. 2 is just tacky. You can't do it.
Yes, Sir X-Men coming in with a question. If you had a chance to get a life-size Thundercat figure, which one would you get?
Chitara.
Skeletor.
Wait, isn't Skeletor from He-Man?
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong cartoon.
I'm going Chitara all the way. Had the Chitara action figure as a kid.
I don't know. Thundercats was a long time ago.
Lion-O.
Sure who I'd pick for
Snarf.
Thundercat.
No,
I liked Snarf. He was really funny. And annoying, but funny.
Anthro.
I'd be Snarf. Because he'd probably be a fat animatronic.
There's one more guy. I forget his name. The young dude. I forget his name, but
I honestly can't remember any of them. But
I love Thundercats. That was such a great show.
He was the one that was always looking for food and was eating. That's my guy right there. That's my friend.
Yeah, Skeletor's from He-Man. I love the so I made a remix of that song, the What's Going On, but it's got Prince Adam and Skeletor singing it, and it just cracks me up every time because in the middle Skeletor's like I laugh every time. Oh yeah, Bum Roar. See, Dread wants Snarf also.
Yeah. Oh, he's okay.
It's
okay. So I guess they both are up. You know what? I think you're wrong, Dreadpool. I'm gonna go by there tomorrow and check because I think you're wrong. I'm pretty sure the one on the side of the house is the same, the one they leave up all year. He says there's one in the front yard, and the second one is the one that's in between the private fence and the house. Thinking of when they were taking them down or when the hurricane was coming. I'm pretty sure they're
We're gonna have to go around the neighborhood now and go check out their house.
I will absolutely go for that drive tomorrow. I will do it.
You're gonna be laying in bed at 3 a.m, not being able to sleep, thinking about like, what's the deal with these people's skeleton? I
gotta go for a ride.
The neighbors are like, why is there somebody in a flashlight in our yard in the middle of the night?
Why is this psychopath slowing down and driving with their head out the car?
This is the 10th time they've driven by my house. What are they looking at?
Just laugh it off, Ash.
Oh yeah, laugh it off, Ash. I'm glad you made it. Thank you.
So we are just entertaining ourselves as well as other people.
So did you say, Cosy, that you're watching videos of people falling down? Is that what you said before?
She's watching the Olympic videos, probably. Are you watching the people in the bike races fall now, Coz?
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, and that could be its own sport.
Oh, when you said watching people fall, I thought you meant like generic people falling. You're watching the people on the bikes fall.
Yeah.
Yes, that they go around that one turn where they're on the pavement, and like in the middle of the turn, it turns to cobblestone, and that's where they all bite it. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. This is great.
And it happened race after race after race. Did you see the
Yeah.
guy when I said jumped over the barrier with the bike and he
And
fell
then he
on the
slipped and
tire?
wiped out as he's trying to get her the bike. Poor guy.
And I don't know how many racing events they normally do, but there were like tons of bicycle events. I didn't even know there were that many. Like, how many different ways are there to ride a bike? I thought there would be like one event, but somehow it was on like every day for days, and that's all I kept seeing are the people falling.
Jesus.
Someone fell. There was a bicycle course through the woods, and they had like you had to roll over logs, and they had boulders out. And some lady fell right in the middle of that, and she just laid there. And I was like, "Oh gosh, is she hurt?" And then they showed somebody else, but the lady wasn't hurt because I didn't hear anything about it. So she must have been okay. She probably just laid there like, "Oh, I can't deal with this."
Not today.
Yeah, I had enough of this. I fell in the cobblestones. Now I'm in the woods. I fell on the log.
I would imagine a lot fell off of a bike that I've probably been riding since I was like 10, in front of the whole world too, and now it's recorded on the internet for life.
And I think
That'd
some
be the
people
first
too, like one of the ladies who fell on the cobblestones, I think she was like in the running for a medal and then not anymore. Like that's got to just be depressing too. That like you train your next chance is 4 years from now. It's
Yeah.
not like you can go out to the next event in September. I mean,
that would be harsh. Definitely harsh, Mamelo.
yeah, I thought you were just talking like generic internet videos of people falling down. That's
Oh no, she was gonna look up. She found something interesting about the
Yeah.
Olympics. Now? What's that interesting thing on the Olympics? Oh, I actually thought it was like wait a minute, Ron Jeremy sponsoring something. Is
Really?
he
I didn't hear
still
about that.
alive?
Isn't he
No, are
in
you
jail?
kidding?
Isn't he in jail?
I didn't think he was still alive. I haven't heard about him in ages. I just figured he was, no offense, I thought he was dead.
I think it's a
He's
good thing that
kinda
no one's
old.
heard about him in ages.
I mean, he's kind of old for a porn star.
Always looked like a used car salesman. Apologize if anyone in the chat happens to be a used car salesman, but
He always just looks greasy to me. He always looks greasy
yeah.
almost. I'm like, ugh, I don't care what he's got. He looks dirty.
Like when you watch a movie from the 70s and like they have like the scammy used car salesman from the 70s, that's with that greasy look, that's what
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Definitely has that look about him.
Yeah.
Always. I'm gonna look up though. I want to know where he is now. That's got me curious. Now I want to know: is he still alive?
My bet is that he's alive, but that he's in jail. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but he's in a mental health institution. Do you know that, or is that just your guess?
A court case. Wait a minute. I remember something about that. Oh wow. 30 counts of SA. All 34 accounts were officially dismissed. What? Apparently he was accused of rape. Wow. Imagine that. That's insane. Oh, okay. Now all 30 were for that. Only 12 of them. Not that that makes it any better, I suppose, but I'm just confused. Oh, he looks even worse now.
Right? He's gross.
Oh,
They do a lot of crazy people up too.
He's got dementia and he's suffering from hearing loss now.
That doesn't sound fun.
So here. Okay, but it doesn't say where he was now. This one.
Well, I think that settles it then that we will not be seeing him sponsor any Olympic events in LA.
Yeah,
But
no.
whatever the details of what's going on in his life are, I think it's safe to say we will not be
Yeah.
seeing him sponsor any events.
No, I don't think he'll be doing anything. I mean,
No.
he was arrested in June of 2020, and he's been out since November of 2023. Oh, here we go. Okay, he's residing in a private residence due to his declining health and mental conditions. A year prior, he was declared incompetent to stand trial in March, and a conservatorship was filed.
Huh.
So he's not doing anything by himself at all anymore.
Do you ever think you'd be doing so much research on him to find out where he is?
I never thought I would ever look up Ron Jeremy personally. that is something I never expected myself to do. I've never found the man interesting, like sleazeball and, like I said, dirty. But
Yeah.
here we are. So it's not dreadful. He's not in a medical institution, but he might as well be. Yes, and I will look up crazy people too. I will look up crazy people, smart people, anybody, as long as I find it entertaining. Especially if a mugshot's involved, those are always funny.
Mugshots?
Mugshots are always funny.
Mugshots really just look like you got your ID picture taken after you had a hangover.
See, I love the mugshots of the people who are arrested after like huffing paint and stuff because they still have the paint all over their face.
Whatever color's all right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they're always great.
I knew somebody one time that tried to huff something, and it was air freshener. And it was a brand new can of air freshener. And of course, we knew what happened because the damn thing was gone. And when we questioned about it, he's going to sit there and lie to us and tell us that he didn't touch it. Meanwhile, you could smell him from the other room. Because, regardless of, you're huffing this stuff, it's getting all over you, and you're essentially just wiping it. It was like, oh God, like.
When I was in college, I worked at a Mexican restaurant, and they had whipped cream, and they had to lock up the cases of whipped cream because somebody went in and what do they call? Took the little canister thing out of the bottom. To like get high off of them and like ruined cases and cases of whipped cream, and I had to lock it up. I was like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, when I worked in a smoke store, we used to sell the charger cans for those people would come in and they'd buy, because the boxes came with like, I think 10 or 12 canisters in a box, and they're small canisters, they weren't real big. But still, do you really need like 4 boxes of these things? What are you doing with this much whipped cream?
Well, that's the thing is, they always think we don't know what they're doing. It's obvious. It's obvious what you're doing, because you're right. Nobody needs that much.
Yes.
Yeah, whippets. That's what they're called.
They're excellent. It's funny. Life-size phone booth. And a TARDIS would not be a bad thing to have, although it would be awfully hard to find one.
Well, hold on though. Do you want this phone booth from Doctor Who? Or are you inventing your own foot Doctor Who? Like, do you want your Doctor Who to also be a foot doctor?
Oh, see,
right?
I was right
what
over.
he wrote there. Yeah.
Doctor thing, like, I didn't even see that. Or are you just seeing foot doctors a lot and texting about it a lot?
You're in the phone booth and you're getting your feet looked at the same time, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Guys, Axel in this card.
So I've never watched Doctor Who. When you're the TARDIS is the phone booth. I know it is the blue phone booth.
Yeah.
Do you time travel in that? Is that the purpose of it, or what do you do when you go in the
You
in
travel.
the TARDIS?
You travel.
But do you time travel, or do you just travel places?
Times? Do you travel? Yes.
To both. Okay.
The
I was gonna say,
TARDIS is the acronym is time and relative dimension in space.
Okay. I didn't know it was an acronym. All right.
You know what's really funny? Like, which season is it where they finally address the fact that it only makes sense in English?
Oh,
And I was
because
like,
it's not. You're right. It's not an acronym in other languages. You're right. I never even thought about that. How many other acronyms are the same way? Like things like sonar is an acronym. Stuff like that. That they don't make sense, or they don't necessarily work out in other languages. Never thought about that.
I imagine there's probably quite a few. I hear quite often, like there's certain sayings that you can't translate into English because it really loses all meaning, and then
Yeah.
you know what I mean, anything behind it once you translate it. There's been a few instances where I've actually witnessed something like that. German. A friend of mine went to go translate a saying, to help cheer everybody up, and when she translated it, with kind of sat there and looked at her. It was like kind of like sounded better in German, and we didn't even understand it. This didn't give me any hope in English. Go back to German. Let's go back to German.
Okay, so this is going to be a really dumb question because I see you said you've been watching Doctor Who since the early 70s. When did Doctor Who come out? Like, is what's out now with what's his name, Cumberpatch, right, Benedict Cumber something?
what?
Right?
He's not.
Isn't he Doctor Who?
He was. He isn't.
Okay.
No, he's never been. He's never been. It's the
Oh,
other.
yeah, no, you're
It's the
thinking.
other long head guy, Matt Smith.
They all kind of look the same. But okay, so is this a remake of the original Doctor Who, or
No.
is this like Doctor Who just keeps on going?
He
Keeps
basically
going.
reincarnates.
Yeah.
I had
Doctor
no
Who.
clue.
Doctor Who's been on technically since 1963, but I haven't watched a whole lot of Doctor Who. I've watched a few episodes here and there. From what I know, and I very well am probably wrong, I think there were a few times. It's not run like a normal show's run, I don't believe. It's not like a whole season in 27 episodes. There's more episodes now that come out with the seasons now, but I believe for a little while they weren't even like taping Doctor Who. And then they found fame again and brought it back.
Came out in 1963 with William Hartnell. Was William Hartnell also a foot doctor? I know you said it was speech and text. I know.
It's funny.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was just a continuation of it. Huh.
Now they got the guy from Sex Education. I liked him, but I don't know if I like him as the lead in anything yet. I haven't seen enough of his work to decide if I like him as the lead.
And I gotta Google who this guy is because I really thought it was Cumberbatch,
It's
whoever he is.
Matt Smith.
You're probably, I think David Tennant. He was a really popular one too. But yeah, Matt Smith is another popular doctor.
Oh, Cumberpatch is Doctor Strange. See, he was another doctor. That's where. Okay.
Somebody who is still playing doctors.
Yes.
Seems fair. It's completely fair, in my opinion. Hey, if you would have said Melina, Blossom, I would have been like, you know what? She has a neurology degree, so we'll go with that. She's a doctor too, technically speaking.
So when you Google something and it tells you, it comes up with like the other things that people are Googling. Because I just Googled, all I Googled was Doctor Who, And what other people are asking, did Benedict Cumberbatch play the Doctor in Doctor Who? See, I'm not the only one. Well, you're right. They're long-faced people, so they all kind of look similar.
I got it personally. I think Matt Smith is like a chameleon. Like that guy. It's almost entirely different in like every role he plays. He looks so wildly different in the movie. In like each movie he does, he looks vastly different. I'm like, how is this the same guy? It's very strange to me.
So I see that these are numbered. Like Matt Smith is the 11th Doctor. So does that just mean he's the 11th person to play Doctor Who, or is that like you said, he kind of gets reincarnated? So that's
he's
part
the
of the
11th
storyline.
incarnation. So yes,
Okay.
the 11th person, kind of.
When they replace the Doctor with a new actor, they don't just kill off the Doctor. He does die, but he like regenerates. He essentially, what's the word I'm looking for? He does a life reincarnation right away instead of being born again. He just reincarnates into another adult.
Okay.
I guess that's the best way I know how to explain it.
It's like it's like Quantum Leap, and you just go in and now you're in somebody else.
Pretty much, yeah. Except he doesn't actually take over somebody. He just regenerates a new body. But he has, over time, he gets his old memories back. But it usually adds to the drama if he doesn't remember everything right away. I know one of the episodes, that was the whole thing, was that he couldn't remember some things. So, show, you never know what's going to be on, and you don't have to really follow it to understand an episode. So that's why I liked it, because I was like, oh, I can jump in on episode, in season 10, episode 4, and I don't have to know what's going on. It'll explain what I need to know in the episode, and then it'll end. Move on with life.
That is good that you don't have to watch every episode specifically to know what's going on. Because, okay, so this is going to sound really stupid. I know it is. It's ridiculous. I need to get over it. In 2006 or 2007, when they had the writer's strike and there was no new TV for like 8-9 months, that's when Lost and Prison Break were new. And I'm pretty sure it was their first season that they were out. And I was very into it. And then they stopped playing it. And then, like I said, it didn't come back for months. I lost all interest and I never went back. And since then, I don't really watch live TV. There's not much I watch live because I don't want the rug to be pulled out from under me. I don't want to get into it and then something happens and I don't get to watch it. So now I just wait for something to kind of wrap up and then I'll go back and I'll binge watch.
Every week was Supernatural. In the final season of that, well, I should say the final few episodes of that actually like broke my heart because they filmed the last season of that at the end of COVID. So they couldn't film what they wanted to and what the fan base actually deserved. So it was very lacking for me, and I just haven't been able to get into too many. There's some shows that I have watched, and I do like that show I've watched From, but I don't consider that a live show. That's on Hulu. Is where I watch it anyway. And I go and watch it by the season. I don't wait week by week for episodes usually.
Yeah, that's why I want to watch a whole season. I don't want to wait because I don't want to get like 3 episodes into a season and then something happens and I can't watch it. They stop making them, right? Like I don't like I said, I need to get over it because that was in 2006 or 2007. It hasn't happened since. But I just know I'm going to get into something and it's going to happen again. So.
Oh, that's funny. Well, take your chances.
Cancel. I don't mind so much.
Yeah,
well, I know now things, if it's not like a huge blockbuster, they cancel it. They don't wait for shows. They don't give shows a chance to really develop themselves and get a following.
In my opinion, I think they ruin shows on purpose a lot of times. I mean, like if you take the Umbrella Academy on Netflix, the Umbrella Academy, the comics were pretty good. so you had a pretty good base storyline to go off of. You could do a whole series off of it. It's a long running comic, so there's a ton you could do. And the first season was good, and then it started to fall off the second season, and I didn't even watch the third season. I just was like, not really interested in it anymore. Now they did this fourth season, and people are like, oh my god, they're canceling it. And I'm like, really, who cares about it? Because
Yeah.
they kind of ruined it as they went along. They took some of the best characters and went, nope, we're not even.
And then they blame the fans for not watching anymore. Like, they ruin the show and make you not want to watch, but then they're like, well, people aren't going to support us.
Yeah, I mean, The Walking Dead did the same thing after a huge amount of seasons. They finally, and they got away with so much for so long, and then they finally just went, we've decided we don't like the fans, so we're just going to do everything you guys decide. We're going to do everything we can. I haven't watched that show in several seasons. I could care less anymore. And they've done spin-offs, and I'm just like, really? Who is anybody asking for? I just wanted zombies. But no. No. We've got to make every other group of living, breathing people absolutely horrible, despicable trash. Really, guys?
Yeah.
Isn't that getting a little stale? Can't we fight some super?
I mean, that was never what The Walking Dead was, though. It was always, at its heart, a human drama.
It got too much. It's too much.
But I understand that, but that's exactly what it is. It's not like it was never a super just action-y thing. It was a human drama.
But was it a human drama and then they got too far into the zombies and then had to pull back from that? Or was it a human drama with zombies from the beginning? I've never watched it.
It was not the show, the comic is just a human drama. It's like the setting is, the zombie apocalypse, but it's not an action. It's not primarily as a comic, it was never primarily action-y as the forefront.
Well, they do that a lot, that when you convert something from comics to a movie or a show or from a book, they really ruin it because they take all the liberties with, okay, we have to, we got to try to amp this up instead of just staying true to what most people probably would enjoy seeing.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to know, I guess not enough because I haven't looked it up in all of these years. There's that show, I think it's called Snowpiercer, where they're on the train. Mm-hmm. I don't understand, and I know that the train can't stop. How do new people get on the train? I don't understand. If it never stops, how are they constantly getting new people?
Well, they're just being born on the train. It's just new people being born on the train.
So you have to wait 9 months to get new people, right? There's not, and then you have to wait for them to grow up and become adults.
Yeah. There's and I don't, because I haven't seen the show. They talk about a section of the train only having kids working in it because they're the only ones that can get into certain areas and reach certain things. So they just kind of keep breeding kids. Oh goodness gracious! I guess it's more like it's essentially a metaphor for the power struggle. You've got your highly rich people with your endless, food and supplies and things up here, and then you've got your middle class who kind of have some things, and then you've got your poor who have very few of the basics, and then you've got your super poor who are, fighting each other for a disgusting granola bar. So they keep them going, and it's more or less they do it on purpose. It's a good movie. I don't know about the series.
At least I didn't see it. I just know I heard about it, and that's why I've always wondered. And I'm like, I just don't get how you ever have new characters.
It's like so you have to think of it as as some more of a metaphor. The show is a metaphor. It's not supposed to be taken at face value. It's like a class struggle metaphor.
Yeah.
So a lot of those things that seem like, well, how would they have more people? I mean, how would you have an infinite train that just continually runs around a frozen earth?
See, and I
Yeah.
guess, I don't understand metaphors. This is why, like, earlier we talked about, like, the reading in high school. Like, I don't care about Shakespeare. I don't care about any of the stuff you read because I don't understand metaphors. I read the words on the piece of paper. So, like, if I watch this show, I would not get a class struggle out of it. I would totally just see people on a train. That's all it would be to me. No more, no less. It's people on a train. But good. See, now I don't have to watch it because now I know the answer. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Sir X is asking if I've seen the American version of Being Human. I did watch it actually. I liked it. I don't think I finished watching the uh, uh whole series though. I honestly don't remember if I did or not. But I did like it. It was an intriguing show. It had a werewolf, a vampire, and a ghost all living in a house together. It was kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the American version.
I have to go back and finish watching it because I don't think I ever finished it.
I made it through like a third of the first season and then stopped watching it.
I think I just got busy and things.
But I did watch the British one fully through. The British one had one season more than the American version.
I've been watching a lot of reality shows lately, and I just watched The Trader. So I watched 5 different seasons. I watched 2 US seasons, 2 UK, 2 from Australia, and 1 from New Zealand. So I guess 8 seasons of The Traders. That I was just watching. So that was good. You have to try to. It's there's like 20 to 25 people in a house, and just like reality shows, you have to do different competitions, but they pick 3 people to be traders and everyone else is a faithful, but you don't know who the trader is. So you're trying to figure out who's the trader. And like the trader, every night, obviously they're allowed to banish or they kill somebody while you're sleeping. Right. So there's a banishment that they vote somebody, the whole group votes somebody out. But then the traders also do a murder at night. So you don't know who it is. So you have to try to figure out who they are because you got to figure them out. So when you get to the end, if there's any traders remaining, the traders get the money and you won't get it. So it's interesting because sometimes people can tell, like, well, this person's acting different, or because they did this murder, because they voted for this person. There's like actual reasons on how they were able to figure out. But sometimes it's just so stupid that it's like, this person, they sniffled when I was talking to them. They must be lying. I think it's them.
That's actually funny.
Yeah, the first British season, everyone cried. It was just ridiculous. They cried every episode, all episode long. It was ridiculous. I don't know what the problem was.
Actually, I think my mom was talking to me about that show about a week or so ago. She started watching it and was telling me about it, and I was like, it's a show basically about, being a troll in a house.
Yeah. This was good. I watched all the seasons I could on Peacock. I watched them all.
Too funny. I'll have to check it out. I've heard about it, and it did sound interesting. It does sound slightly it's almost like playing Clue.
Yes.
Like a long-term Clue. And I love Clue. That was always a fun game to me.
Yeah. So then it recommended, when it was done with that, it was like, oh, you should watch Deal or No Deal Island, which I knew was going to be stupid, but I was like, I got time. Why not? So I'm watching it, and I don't even like Survivor, but this is like a Survivor type game.
Yeah.
But you play the banker just like you do in Deal or No Deal. So like when you play all the games, that you're trying to get cases to play up against the banker. But I get so mad at everybody because they're so focused on playing it like you would play it to get the most money. But that doesn't necessarily make you win, and you may end up going home. Like, you should play the game to make a good deal so you can stay. Like, they're all stupid. But that's okay, because you're stupid, then you deserve it when you go home. So, but I have to finish a season. Thank God there's only 1 season, because it really is a dumb show. But
it reminds me of how like I used to watch 30 Rock, and 30 Rock predicted the increasing level of dumbness in reality TV shows because they would make up some really dumb ones. And Yeah.
It is. It's really dumb. Like, because when reality, like, remember, like when Real World first came out, and it was like new, and it really was just people being people. You kind of got to look into people's lives. But now it's not reality because it's people just putting on. It's just normal people pretending to be actors, but they're not really good at it. That's really all it is.
I'm about to probably never hear the end of this one, but I think my favorite reality show like ever, and I mean ever, and I'm talking like the old episodes, Jersey Shore. That was probably the most entertaining
Fist pump it.
reality show I have ever watched in my they were such messes, and I loved every second. Every minute was a great minute. Like, I mean, because the show came on when I was in my I think it came on when I was in my 20s or just getting ready to go into my 20s, and all I can remember think it was like, I would never walk out of the house like that. I would never act like that. Like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? But it's such a guilty pleasure, and it was so good, but it was so realistic at the same time. But
Well,
over
that's
glamour.
one thing that I liked, and I've only seen episodes here and there, but they were who they were, and they were drunk messes. And the rest of us, like you said, would be like, I would never do that. That's horrible. They didn't even care. That's what they were doing, and they were just like, whatever, we're gonna do it. And like that's to me what made it entertaining. It's like, yeah, you went and you really wrote the note about like, hey, we all know this. We saw, it was somebody. Wait, did they read that it was Sam? Like we saw Ronnie kissing whoever.
Yeah.
Like they
Oh
really
my
did
God.
that.
That
Like
was so
they had no
messy.
shame. Yeah, they had no shame. They was messy. They didn't even care. Like that's what I want out of reality TV. Just have no shame and just go do whatever you're really doing.
It seems to
Yeah.
me like nowadays it's like everyone's competing to do the most dramatic and off the wall thing, and it's no longer authentic because you're not really getting real reactions. You're getting over dramatic reactions now. Everyone has to be over the top. And it's like
Yes.
earlier reality shows were hysterical because it was so off the wall funny, and they weren't
Yeah.
necessarily trying to always be messy. They
They
just
just were.
were.
They
Like,
were.
they were drunk messes they were young and dumb and drunk most of the time. So, I mean, and it was gold. It was
So
TV gold.
I admit I watch Real Housewives, so I've watched every episode of every season in New Jersey, and like in the beginning, you could tell they were trying to look nice for the camera, but like now they have whole glam squads. Like normal, that's not normal. That's not your life. Like I know that you're doing this because you're just like I said, it's people who think that they are like actors and they're not, and they suck, and that's just it makes it stupid.
Yeah,
And I
I
just
agree.
hate watch because I've watched all 14 seasons of how many there are, so like I said, I just hate watch at this point.
Wow. I
Again,
don't.
TV layman.
I think the only one I've watched is I used to watch the reruns of American Gladiator and Fear Factor, but
I
I've never
love
been a
American
big
Gladiator.
I've never been a big reality TV fan.
Ooh, day. I thought that was too funny because my friend was asking, they were like, how long was that show on? I was like, it wasn't on that long. It only had a few seasons, but it got canceled because of the lawsuit.
That show was so good, and there'll be nothing to replace it. It was like, yes,
Oh,
be aggressive.
the problem was the last few episodes got really nasty. Like, it wasn't even fear anymore. It was just gross things. It was like, we're not going to do things people fear. We're just doing nasty things. Like, some of the stuff was just like, why would you even?
What
That's
gross stuff can we put in a blender and make you eat?
Yeah, and that's actually one of the lawsuits, though. It was when they did, and I don't know if they ever actually aired the episode or not. It was an episode they had done with twins. You can look it up online. I think it's on YouTube actually. Um, it was a episode they had done with twins, and the girls were made to swim or something, and one of them got sick or something. So
Oh,
they sued the. It's like because in case you folks didn't know out there, NDAs and waivers don't count when it comes to illegal activity, folks. So,
A lot of them don't really count for much anyways. It's just you really scare people into not saying anything because you can't take that chance of getting sued if you screw up. But yeah, when it's illegal, everything's out the window.
I had that with a friend ages ago. We had to sign a waiver to do something, and I had made the comment. I said, this waiver is not going to save them if everyone goes ahead and decides to sue because they fall and hurt themselves or something. And my friend looked at me and said, it doesn't matter if the waiver would work or not for that. It's the fact that you signing it already makes you think they're not responsible. So you following up and trying to go after them, their chances go down of that happening.
Drastically goes down,
because you already think, oh, I signed a waiver. And of course, if you just tell a lawyer, oh, I signed a waiver, they're going to just think, oh, it's a legit waiver, and chances are it's not.
Yeah, because even if you think it's legit, you're like, I'm not going to have the money if they're going to sue me. What am I going to do? Because you think you have no power.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what it is. It is the power of suggestion.
Yes. DJ in the chat said that we have to watch Evil. I don't know what that is.
I know what Evil is.
What is it?
It's a TV show. I don't know exactly what it's about because I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was boring.
Oh, it's a drama series. Supernatural drama. Oh, that doesn't help. Oh, it's already been canceled on Paramount, though.
I mean, it was on for a few seasons.
It's got 4 seasons, though.
Huh. Oh, okay. Well, apparently they're shopping around other networks, so they're trying to shoot a 5th season. I'll have to check it out. That's one that actually made me think of Dr. Now. That's one show I can get behind. Dr. Now. That guy's funny as all get out. Oh, I'd love to have him as a doctor. He's just funny.
Who was he? His name sounds familiar.
He was have you ever heard of the show 1,000-Pound Sisters?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
He was their original doctor that they had when they first started the show, and then they switched doctors closer to them. He's the short, little old guy.
Yes.
Who has a very thick, I think it's like Ukrainian or something accent. If you just pull up clips of Dr. Now, and he is just hysterical because people will go in because they go to see him for geriatric problems. Bariatric problems. So they're going to him because they have issues losing weight and things. There's no hiding that. You can't, it's not like hiding an ulcer on your arm or something. You can't really hide your weight very well, especially when you're going to see the doctor about it. And they'll go on the scale, and then when they get to the room, he'll ask them, like, their eating habits and things. And of course, like most people, they lie about their eating habits. And I'll never forget, there's one, and it's actually a clip that you could find online because it is so funny. This guy's telling Dr. Now that he doesn't really eat. All he does is drink a whole lot of water. And the guy is like a good 500-600 pounds. And he's telling Dr. Now that all he does is drink a lot of water, but he doesn't poop. And he barely pees, so he thinks he's got a lot of water weight. He's holding all the water weight, and he's concerned he's malnourished because he's not eating. Dr. Now, without skipping a beat, do you look like you can be malnourished? He's like, you can't tell me this is all water weight.
Yeah.
If anybody else said it completely rude.
Well, he's compassionate, but he doesn't. He calls people out. He tells them right to their face because people will come in and between appointments, like he'll tell them you have to lose 50 pounds before you come back. They'll come back and they'll tell him how good they ate, and then he was like, "Well, you gain 25 pounds and you can't do that, and I'm not going to operate on you, so don't come back if you can't do this." Like, yeah, when there's a scale involved, you can't lie.
I don't know. He's so funny. He is so. I don't know if he necessarily is. I don't think he's trying to be mean. I just think it's always so funny how nonchalant he is. It's like
Yeah.
he's so old. He's like, I don't have time on this planet to lie with you. We don't have time for this. If you're gonna live longer, I need you to be realistic with us. Like, but yeah, I like watching him. He's always entertaining because, like I said, he's compassionate, but he's very brutally honest.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the fact that some of these people think they're going to lie about, I eat a salad every day. I don't eat salad probably even once a week. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna pretend to lie. I might tell the doctor, like, yeah, I eat a vegetable every day.
Yeah, a piece of lettuce on a cheeseburger doesn't make it a salad.
I mean, does pizza?
Can you deep fry a salad? Right? You know they have like deep fried Snickers and Twinkies. Can you deep fry a salad somehow?
Yeah.
Because maybe that's a salad you eat every day.
It probably wouldn't be. I mean, yeah, you could probably like do the same way like they have like those crisped vegetables. You could probably deep fry them. They're like dried and crispy.
That's a salad that these people eat every day.
I mean, they could be eating a salad every day. They just what if you made a salad and put massive quantity of cheese,
bacon,
yeah,
ranch.
Yeah. Yeah, you just put like everything on the salad that's not good.
Make it taste good.
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't.
I think most people don't functionally understand what eating a salad looks like. Like a taco salad's a salad.
True.
DJ says use tempered butter.
Oh, like tempura batter to fry our salad.
I can't even imagine. That sounds very similar, like fried ice cream to me.
So delicious.
I hope you enjoy it if that's what you want to do. I'm going to pass. It doesn't sound right to me, and I don't think my brain can process something like that.
Fried ice cream is so delicious.
I bet it is. I like ice cream and I like things fried, but I don't know if I can handle frozen ice cream being fried. That just sounds so strange. It's like a fried Snickers. Like, I'm sure it's delicious, but I'm not gonna do it.
When they do frozen ice cream, they pack the ice cream ball so tight and they have to freeze it enough. So then you put it in the deep fryer, not very long. So the ice cream's not melted. It's still a ball of ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I've never had like a deep fried Snickers, but I think that the Snickers is kind of melty on the inside, whereas it's an actual ice cream ball with a then fried coating on it. It's so good. And let's be real, if you put tempura batter on a lettuce leaf, and that would probably taste delicious too, because it would just be fried tempura batter is all you would taste.
Too funny. I would have to say, we have fairs going on like all the time, so I can get fried stuff like this all the time. Our state fair lasts for like 2 months. It'd probably be a horrible thing for my diet if I started eating fried everything. I'll stick to potatoes for now.
So you'd have to figure out how many laps you have to do around the fairgrounds to burn off all the fried food.
I don't. If I did not have to walk to my mailbox to get my mail, if I could get in my car, drive to, I mean, not that it's far, but if I could just drive it down the driveway to get the mail and then drive my car back, I would.
Have you ever been to Las Vegas before?
No.
Okay, because a
lot of walking.
Well, no, I'm glad I asked because this wouldn't make sense then. What I was going to say, you need to install your yard in Las Vegas. They have, so you know how an escalator brings you up the stairs? It's flat. It's flat though, like the walkways at the airport, I guess, and it's flat that you move on. They have those, so you're on the street in Vegas, and then you get on the walkway, the moving walkway, to get you to the actual casino, so you don't have to walk because it's so set so far back from the road.
Oh,
that's what you need from your mailbox. Your front door is the little walkway, moving walkway.
That's too funny. They have people movers. They're
Yeah.
we call them people movers
Yes,
down
and that's
here.
exactly what they have. It's people
Yeah.
movers, so when you're on the sidewalk, you can get back down into the casino.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would absolutely. But then I probably would never get any exercise.
Yeah. Be like, you're going to call up contractors. Can I have a quote for installing a 20-foot long people mover, please?
Like a few years later, I'm gonna need you to remove a wall on my house.
Yeah.
I need to get out. I'm terrible with activities.
Can I get a double wide front door, please?
I want French doors to swing out, thank you. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm thinking of turkey or food in general. Now you guys got me thinking about food, and Sir X-Men's now he wants fried
Turkey. I want
turkey.
turkey.
Good night, Axel.
Oh, what time is it? Oh,
Oh,
I
it's
gotta head
11
out soon
o'clock.
too.
Yeah, probably should head off so everyone else can go to sleep too. We've been on for a while.
Yeah, but because it was fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. Didn't seem like it's been that long. I'm impressed. I think this is the quietest Cozy's ever been.
What? I'm just tired.
Oh, good night, Axel. Have a good week. And thanks for watching. I guess we should probably have to then, because it is getting awfully late, and I have to wake a child up in the morning because tomorrow is the first day of school.
What a rough Monday to have as a kid.
Yeah.
I know. It is very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, Mondays are hard enough, but then to be the first day of school. Although, I don't know, as a kid, it's not horrible.
She's excited. She gets to go back and see her friends, so she's happy about that for now.
Good.
Until she remembers she has to do schoolwork, she's excited.
Yeah, until it's not just social time and there's actual studying involved.
Mm-hmm. But me too, Sir X. Me. Oh, hey, Trinity! Wow,
Hey!
been a minute. Oh my goodness. I hope to see more of you soon, Miss Trinity. It has been a while. I'll have to talk to you later, my dear. Been busy. Everybody's busy. But with all that being said, ladies, I do have to head off because I didn't realize it was already 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Well, no, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me join. This is the first time I've been on a podcast. I've only kind of been in the background on other ones. So thank you. I had such a great time. And thank you, everyone in the chat who stopped by to say hello to me. Some of you I already know, some of you I didn't. So thank you so much. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you came on, and I'm really happy.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you again, my dear, because it's absolutely intriguing. So
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Pink Piggles. So right now, all you see if you look at my YouTube is just my logo. I'm just getting started on getting set up on my own, but soon I'll probably start off playing video games and just kind of see where life takes me. I don't know. So, but yes, if anytime you want me back, I'm around. So
absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Well,
thank you, Sir X-Man. I appreciate it.
He is amazing. It has been awesome. And Sharon, I love you so much, sweetie. Okay. I'll have to add your new one. So, but all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone for stopping by.
Whoop, whoop.
Feel free to give it a like. Thumbs up is always appreciated.
Like, thumbs up. Spread the word.
But until next, giggle at any problem. Best way to handle it, in my opinion. Laugh and point at stupid. It's fun. But have a good night, everybody. With that being said, I am Destila.
I'm Cozy Beluga.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
And we'll see. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.